Hey Andrew, let's dig into this workout real quick. Um, Worth noting, I uh, I started out with the sound on here, and I was a little perplexed at the peaceful woodland Navajo setting, but then I heard the metal riff and it made more sense. At any rate, these squats are looking night and day better than where you were. That is for darn sure. I'm loving the hip drive. I'm loving the bend over. All that kind of stuff is good. Now is when we stop watching starting strength videos and start focusing in on what Andrew needs to do and not what all SSCs tell every client to do. So we're going to have a little bit more personalized cueing here. That's going to involve your knees rather than your hips, okay? Watch this. The goal here would be for the hips and the knees to break at the same time, for this to travel forward as this travels back. Watch this. We're going to slow it down. Okay. And the hips. See that? How the hips have already traveled back. The knees are just getting started. This is actually one of your better reps, but we still see the hips were traveling back as the knees were getting forward, right? Now you'll see back here on the later reps, watch for the hips to break. Hips break 1, 2, 3. Now the knees are setting forward, right? Watch what this is going to cause. Bar path goes down and it's moving slightly forward because the knees are having to travel forward and they're a little late on their duty. The whole system's center of mass is going to travel forward. You're on your toes here, okay? As you go up, you're going to see a correction. You will always, if you're on your toes at the bottom position, you will always see a correction where the system will move back onto the heels. So watch for the knees pull back, the hips pull back, the whole system moves back, the bar moves back, and then you're able to stand up. And you're pretty much over midfoot again. So really, the goal is not to lean over more. The goal is to get the knees out earlier, okay? Don't worry about, you're leaning over just plenty. You can't lean over anymore, actually. You've got to get your knees out, right? The knees have to be set, and they have to be set early. Now, with these bench presses, a noble effort, sir, Googling elbow flare. This is actually a super easy fix. Just a second. The heck? This is the angle I wanted. I'm going to give you a hint as to what's going on here. You'll see that you're pretty darn tight here, right? You've done a fairly decent job of setting your shoulder blades together. Now, watch those shoulder blades. Watch the bar. Watch the elbows. Come on, Andrew. Stop fiddling around. See what just happened at your shoulder blades? How did the bar get up? Your elbows opened up a little bit, but was it enough to move the bar that distance? No, sir. So what just happened? We had to, in order to unrack the bar, we had to protract our shoulder blades, pull out our shoulder blades, and that got us set up for the very first rep already at a disadvantage. The bench press, every movement has a joint that if that one joint is not in the right position, everything else is screwed. Like, other things can be wrong and the lift is okay, but if that one joint is in the wrong position, everything else is screwed. With the bench press, that joint is the shoulder blades. If the shoulder blades are not in the proper position, the whole rest of the lift is totally bupkis. It's totally done for. It's just bad news bears. So what you've got to do here is set those pins lower, right? in order to make sure that you can use only your elbows to lift the bar off the rack. You'll get your shoulder blades set up, and you'll use your elbows to, you'll open up your elbows to lift the bar off the rack. The reason these elbows are wiggling around and all that kind of stuff, and you're having to use your lats to pull them in, is because the scapulae are no longer depressed, they're no longer retracted as much as they were on the setup, and that's causing all of these issues that you're feeling. That's why these are so bro-like, right? You see kind of a, what's the word? Muscling up. It kind of looks like you're muscling the weight up. It feels as if you're not really controlling the weight, and that face, man, it says it all. So, that'll be it, Andrew, with the bench press. If you can keep your shoulder blades tight when you unrack, and then reinforce and regather that tightness every rep, you'll be in a lot better position. By the way, it's not unusual for one of the two big lifts to be affected by a cut, especially if you're cutting pretty hard. It's not a big deal. Although I PR'd my deadlift on a 30% caloric deficit, so you never know. God, look at that back, Andrew. Yep, you probably saw God there. You probably saw Jesus himself, and he was not happy with you with that hip drop. Did you almost pass out there? I bet you did. Cool. Not too bad, Andrew. These look really good. Keep your hips higher, of course. That's exactly it. Um, Keep your hips a little higher, and work on just channeling that discomfort. But overall, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with these. You did a great job with your back. All right, sir. That should be good to go. Let me know if you have any questions or anything. Otherwise, you will hear from me soon.